come up with some custom combos just to punish her. I think a lot of characters, like, if you don't spend the time sitting in practice just figuring out specifically how to maximize, you know, a punish on her, you're just gonna get blown up by her.
Yeah, it's a really obscure punish. Like, you have to sit in practice mode against that move in order to punish it. If you don't, yeah, you're gonna get blown up. Like, you can't go into a tournament and not know how to deal with that move. Otherwise, I mean, that's probably why you see so many Molinas. I mean, that's the reason Rio just blew people up at Evo.
And no one understood that at Evo. You know, I would have got blown up.
His match with Chris G. I mean, did you the amount of dive kicks that happened in that match? I'm pretty sure that Reptile has a punish. It's just at that time Chris G just did not know what it was.
I think I could be wrong, but I think Reptile's one character who can't. Like, it jails him for some reason.
Like, my gut tells me you could probably do like a down 4 EX fastball or something, but
you would think, but I've heard otherwise. I don't know. That's just what I've heard.
I see.
And there's a lot of things you hear that aren't true, so who knows?
I'm sure he can punish the standard one. The EX one, he might have a problem. He can probably get down 1 into something, but
supposedly it jails him so that you absolutely can't.
I don't see how that's possible. Like,
I don't either, but, you know, I don't know.
How would the Psy hit him crouching? That doesn't make any sense. He's like
apparently because his hitbox is fucked up somehow.
He's got one of the smallest hitboxes in the game.
I don't know, man. Don't shoot the messenger.
That's dumb.
What do you think about Molina's weakness? Does she have much of a comeback factor besides taking crazy risks?
Well, I don't see how up 4 is a risk.
I mean, how's she gonna get in though?
What do you mean? She's kind
Alright,
of.
let's say you get a life lead on her, right? And then you start turtling hella. Just let her build meter, right? How is she gonna get in?
She's got down 4.
Well, you can't teleport, man. That's not gonna work.
If she goes to absolute full screen and she's zoning, I think you can just roll and you'll stop right in front of him. You can put him in. And it's kind of weird because on defensively, when someone just rolls and it stops right in your face, you want to block because you think it's going to hit you, and then she just ends up starting a block string. Or at least that's what Pig was doing against me. And
that's a really common setup, yeah.
And I think I don't know what this string
is. Really
it's
good online.
Yeah. Yeah, Molina's awesome online.
Yeah, she's almost as bad as Sonya.
That's probably why I think she's the best, because I don't really play any Molinas offline, because no one in our scene uses Molina.
She's not nearly as bad offline.
That's probably why I believe
she's definitely really good.
I mean, she definitely has everything.
According to there's no bad matchups with that, which I agree with.
I agree with that too. I don't think she does have a bad matchup.
I think Cabal's a bad matchup for her.
No.
No way.
I don't know about that.
That teleport is too good. It blows up air gas blast. It'll blow up. It blows up Katana.
I never have a problem with Molinas. I played Jay Guthrie.
Do you play Cabal, Rob?
Yeah. He's my man.
Yeah. Where do you think Cabal's on the tier list? I think he's at the absolute top.
I agree.
I'd say he's probably number 3.
Who's 2 and 1?
Jackson Shankson.
Raiden Katana.
And who's number 1?
Raiden.
Okay. I don't think Raiden's number 1 anymore.
I don't either.
I actually
online
think
he
with
is.
Go ahead.
Online he is.
I think with the nerfs that Kung Lao and Raiden got, I do think at one point they were the 2 best characters, and I think because they were the 2 best, it really limited a lot of characters from being playable. But because they've shifted down in the tier list and people are starting to move away from them, I think you're starting to see a lot of the more rushdown oriented characters move up. And because those characters are moving up, I think that zoners are starting to move up as well. Because they sort of counter each other.
I thought they nerfed Kung Lao too much. I thought the low hat nerf was too much.
Dude, he's still ridiculous. He's got all the tools for everything.
But his rushdown is it really got hurt bad. Like, what is he supposed to do?
Any counter poke, he can get a full combo with his stupid spin.
How?
Spin.
I mean, he's got to throw it, dude, and he's dead if he's wrong.
Yeah, that's a high risk.
I mean, that's
I don't know. I hate Kung Lao.
It's cheap online.
Yeah.
I think
One thing a lot of people don't know about is the reason why everyone thinks Kung Lao bowls Shang Tsung out so bad is because when Shang Tsung does forward 4-3-4 into close ground skull, if Shang Tsung does an immediate down 3, Kung Lao can't poke out of it. Or he can't spin out of it, sorry. Because the down 3, it interrupts the spin. But if you do 4-4-3-4 close ground skull and you try dashing in, the spin will hit you. So it kind of throws off a lot of. I believe that matchup was a 5-5, and everyone's trying to tell me it's like a 7-3 in Kung Lao's favor.
How do you feel about, what is it where Cyber Sub-Zero is supposed to be like impossible? What was that? Or was it the other way around? I can't remember.
I agree with it. Cyber Sub-Zero, that's definitely one of Shang Tsung's worst matchups because he can literally spam dive kicks to the point where you will condition me to try to outzone you by throwing like skulls that will come in front of you that'll beat the dive kick. But when I start doing that, all Cyber Sub-Zero has to do is just start throwing ice balls. Because Cyber Sub-Zero wins every trade against Shang Tsung. Because he pretty much gets a full combo after the ice ball. And Shang Tsung can't really do anything about it. So it's pretty much right when you get to condition me to do something that you want me to do, you just do the other thing. And it's pretty much like a blowout.
Do you think a noob is Shang Tsung's?
Yeah, Noob is definitely his worst matchup. Just because that the tackle is an overhead.
Why is that a big deal?
Because it's pretty much Shang Tsung when he tries to outzone Noob. It's really hard, and on top of all right, this is exactly how it is. Shang Tsung when you're trying to outzone him, you pretty much have to guess if the projectile Noob is throwing is going to be overhead or a low. So while you're trying to outzone him, it's pretty much you have to guess. And in my eyes, it's really bad.
You don't think that you can see that? I mean, are we talking full screen?
Yeah.
I feel like that's mainly an online problem.
No, because at Devastation, Tom actually beat me pretty bad with Noob. I never noticed how bad that matchup was until I played Tom. And we all know how Tom's Noob is.
Oh shit. So, what do you think of like counter picking in tournaments? Like 16-bit and Slips have said they're against this.
Wait, to be clear, not for any like moral reasons, none of that bullshit. Our point was that the community is too quick to counter and not enough to really get in depth and learn a matchup, to really fight the bad matchups, which ultimately will only improve your fundamental play.
Yeah, but in a tournament, you want to win. You want the money. So who cares about that?
But you can, if you know the matchup better than the other person, if you know how to blow up, you know, how bad that character zones your character, if you know how to blow that. I mean, if we were going off that, I would have dropped Scorpion the first week of the game after I played 16-bit.
Right. Right. And now that you've fought Katana so often,
After I've banged my head against the wall countless times.
Your ability to deal with like her footsie game is now extremely strong. You know, one of the strongest that I play, and that's going to help you in almost every matchup. Like, that's a fundamental skill that you've learned really well because you were forced to learn it that way.
And it helps you, too. Like,
right, yeah, absolutely.
It only helps, like, if you just fight it out. Like, I mean, I know in tournaments it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you should be comfortable to the point where you think you should be able to beat anyone.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I feel like if I didn't work through a lot of matchups that I used to struggle with, I probably wouldn't be as good as I am. So I can agree with that. Like I used to play B-Wiz a lot, and I used to really struggle with his Raiden. And then as we started playing more and more, I started being able to do things like, you know, punish his teleports on reaction.